All right, what's going on, church family? I wanted to hop on this afternoon and just kind of give a little update of kind of where the church is in regards to COVID-19, reopening, all those types of things. And so I wanted to take a moment and have you join us for a moment. And whether you watch this live or after the fact is irrelevant at this point. It's okay either way. But wanted to give you a little update. This week, as many of you know, if you watch the news or check things out, obviously our numbers for COVID-19 in the state of Florida are skyrocketing through the roof. And while that is probably more true in some of the southern counties, it is also true here. Just this week, we've had 2 new deaths in the county, which we haven't had any for probably 2 months in the last 2 months. And then our hospitalization rate has climbed up a little bit here and in the surrounding counties. And so with that being the case, I guess I just want to come back and remind us that as we come to church and just out and about, just to be vigilant, just to, to take the precautions, to take things seriously. I personally have the desire when we come to church to run around and give everybody in the room a hug, a handshake, a high five. That's who I am as a person on a normal, regular basis, and I look forward to that. But really, and if I'm honest, just being honest, I've splurged a little bit on that here and there. But I think considering what's going on around us, I really want to kind of get us back to, making sure we're following the respectful distancing protocols that we have in place, and the lack of physical touch that's in place as a church, to make sure to keep folks safe, and to make sure that we're kind of respecting those boundaries that are there. And so I just want to remind us and ask us that when we come together as the body, please keep those things in mind, and please be vigilant in that and help us out in that if you could. Somebody asked me the other day, Brother Jason, the Bible says that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. So is doing all this stuff, are we giving in to a spirit of fear, in regards to that when the Bible says that? And I want to challenge us the rest of that verse that sometimes we don't read. It says, the Bible says, and that's in 2 Timothy 1:7, that the Lord hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of love and of a sound mind is the last part of that. And so I want to challenge us with, this isn't about fear. This isn't about, being scared of what might happen. We're in the Lord's hands. Everybody knows that. We're all good to go. But we also just need to be mindful, and we also need to, use what the Lord has given us and use the information that the Lord has given us, and make sure we're doing our best to also love and respect others around us in the process. And so I just want to just give a fresh challenge to that with everything kind of going on this week and seeing the numbers rise this week, just as an update of let's be sure to, that fresh challenge to everyone to maintain social distancing, and a fresh challenge to myself in the process as well. And so this week, I'm not giving out hugs. I'm not giving out handshakes. I'm gonna wave at you and smile at you as best as I can. I'll when I'm not preaching, I'm going to be, wearing a mask and that type of thing as well. And we'll still leave that choice up to you of whether that's something you want to do or not. But I would most certainly strongly recommend it along the way, especially when you're coming and going in hallways and aren't able to be that 6 foot apart there. At the end of the day, why are we all doing this? Because really, at the end of the day, we don't want to see anybody get sick and be suffering because of this. But then even further than that, we don't want to have to get into a situation where we get a few people sick at church and we end up having to go back to doing online services and things of that nature. We want to move forward in our reopening slowly, effectively, and cautiously, so that we can continue moving forward and hopefully not have to take any steps back along the way. And we most certainly don't want to see anybody that we love get sick or anything because of it. And so I just want to ask you just to join me in taking those fresh steps. I know I've been a little lax with it myself, and so I just want to kind of challenge us afresh with that, for this upcoming Sunday and moving forward in the future. Also want to give an update about Sunday school. Some of you have asked, where are we at with our reopening phase and that type of thing. We have been working diligently behind the scenes to try to figure out all the logistics and things of reopening, possibly reopening Sunday school to some degree. I don't have all the details and everything yet. We've been looking at what size classrooms we need. We've been talking with Sunday school teachers and trying to get a pulse of, how many classes feel comfortable coming back at this point. How many still feel like they need to do Zoom meetings and those types of things. And so all that to say is you should be getting a update from us in the next week or so, kind of laying out a general plan moving forward, and it will have some dates and things of that nature in it. And so just be looking ahead to that, and we're working towards that as best as we can. And finally, I guess the thing that I would ask of you more than anything is please be praying. Be praying for our staff. Be praying for our deacons, for other leaders who are helping make the decisions. We are doing our very best to take the information that is in front of us, filter that through prayer, and do as best as we can the will of the Lord for our church, and trying to do our best to continue to worship and honor and glorify and disciple and share Jesus with in the midst of all of the craziness going around. And so please be lifting us up in your prayers. We covet those prayers, and we are most certainly praying for you. And again, if you have any questions or anything moving forward, we're here, we're available. Let us know, but mostly be lifting us up in prayer moving forward this week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you Sunday morning. Our services are 9 and 11, and so come join us this Sunday, and let's worship the Lord together. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great afternoon.